Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about 10 big misconceptions about atheism, but first I wanted to tell you about a YouTube channel called Cars and Water doing some mind-bending science experiments. Check out this clip. You gotta check out and subscribe to their channel by clicking right here. You'll find tons more videos of various other objects and substances being melted or disintegrated. Don't try that at home, obviously, but do check out the channel.
Without further ado, 10 big misconceptions about atheism. Number 10, atheists worship the devil. Believe it or not, many atheists, myself included, have been accused of worshiping the devil. Let me clear something up. Atheists do not believe in a god or gods. Therefore, they do not believe in the Judeo-Christian God. Therefore, they do not believe in the Judeo-Christian God's arch nemesis, Satan. It would be pretty silly to worship something that we don't believe in. That said, some atheists, like YouTube's own Mr. Repsion, identify as Satanists. However, Satanism, as conceived by Anton Szandor LaVey, incorporates Satan purely as a metaphorical symbol of man's deeper primal nature, and not as a horned beast presiding over the damned for all time. Number 9. Atheists are anti-religion. It's certainly true that many atheists would identify as anti-theists, those who believe that religion is not only factually incorrect, but also socially detrimental. I do consider myself an anti-theist to an extent, but a great many atheists advocate that the religious traditions of others be afforded respect and given deference for cultural or political reasons. Number 8. The burden of proof is on atheists. The burden of proof is always on the party making the claim. To say that there is a God is a claim. To say that there is no God is not a claim. It's the response to a claim. And any claim without evidence should be discarded as anything more than a fascinating but unlikely possibility. Some will say absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence, but actually it is. If you were told that a fully grown, enormous adult elephant walked through your house a moment ago, you would expect some physical trace of the elephant to still be in your house. Broken doorways and furniture, a trampled floor, paintings knocked off the wall, giant footprints in the yard, etc. If your house were in pristine shape with nothing amiss, you would be rather dubious about the existence of this elephant that supposedly just walked through. You would be correct in assuming that very probably no elephant came through here because you see no evidence that one did. Number 7. Atheism is responsible for some of history's greatest atrocities. Like what? Like the Nazis? Many mainstream historians continue to declare that Hitler was anti-Christian, despite his frequent evocations of God in speeches and in propaganda. Hitler once said, "We were convinced that the people need and require this faith. We have therefore undertaken the fight against the atheistic movement. And not merely with a few theoretical declarations, we have stamped it out." He made reference to himself as a Christian and a Catholic numerous times in his speeches and in his writings. But even if Hitler merely used religion as a contrivance, his regime clearly was not anti-religious. The Soviet Union? Well, Stalin did seek to strip the populace of its religion, but this was less about promoting secularism than it was about solidifying the absolute power of the state and of Stalin himself. Stalin certainly never killed anyone in the name of atheism. He killed in the name of his own greed for power and prestige. The same can be said for Pol Pot in Cambodia. Number 6. Atheists have lost their faith or connection to God. This is an odd sentiment that seems to be shared by many religious people, where religious belief is viewed as the default and atheism is viewed as a peculiar aberration. The origin of this illusion is not hard to discern when we live in a world where the vast majority of people are religious. But why are these people religious? It's not because they instinctively had a sense of a god or gods at birth. It's because they were raised in religious traditions which instilled the idea of God in their heads. That's why a boy born in Iraq will know that Islam is the unvarnished truth, while a girl born in Georgia, USA will know that Baptist Christianity is unquestionably the correct answer to life's big questions. Number 5, atheists have no sense of spirituality. Many atheists don't have or feel a great need for spiritual experiences. However, many atheists do. Famous atheist and noted evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins has stated, "Spirituality can mean something that I'm very sympathetic to, which is a sort of sense of wonder at the beauty of the universe, the complexity of life, the magnitude of space, the magnitude of geological time. All those things create a sort of frisson in the breast, which you could call spirituality." Equally noted atheist author Sam Harris is currently writing a book called Waking Up, which purports to be a guide to spirituality without religion. Atheists have certainly not, as a group, denounced the feeling of spirituality or of spiritual experiences. However, we don't necessarily entangle these feelings with the supernatural. Number 4, atheists have no way of dealing with death. Atheists most certainly have as much occasion to grieve for lost loved ones as any other group of people. I have known atheists who have lost parents, who have lost children, who have lost spouses and life partners. Perhaps to some atheists there is an extra sting to these events when we must be honest with ourselves that the person we loved is very, very unlikely to have somehow survived in some fashion in an afterlife provided for them by a loving creator. Death is a tragic event, and it should be a painful experience. To allow oneself to feel that sadness with all of its weight and implications is, in my view, a good way to honor the life of the person for whom you mourn. But this is a temporal existence, and when someone leaves us, we move on. The world does not wait. I love and cherish the memories of those I knew who have gone from this world, even though I do not believe that they have gone on to some new world. This may well be a less comforting view of human mortality than what religion offers, but human beings have shown time and time again that this reality can be confronted and prepared for. Think of the admirable way that atheist Christopher Hitchens comported himself in his final days of waning health. Number 3, atheists lead meaningless lives. Honestly, to my way of thinking, a life spent devoted to an all-powerful despot trying to impose his will on you would actually be several orders of magnitude more meaningless than what I believe to be the truth. We are highly cognitively developed primates who through a long and arduous biological and social evolution have discerned a great deal about the universe and our place in it. And we have the ability to reflect on the truths that we have discovered. We also have the ability to more fully understand these truths, amending and enhancing them as new facts come to light. I believe that in the pursuit of knowledge, there is great meaning. Carl Sagan said it best when he famously remarked, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." We are rarely privileged beings. A rock cannot contemplate that it is a rock, or wonder at its origins, or seek answers about itself and the world that it exists within. We can. And though our ability to do so might be highly temporary, it is, in my view, very meaningful. Number 2, atheists have no morality. I've never met a person, let alone an atheist, who didn't adhere to some notion of a moral code. Even the most wicked people in history seem to believe in some guiding principles of human conduct. And that's all that morality really is when you strip it of all of the dense philosophical fluff floating around in its atmosphere. Morality is just a system of thought that helps one to differentiate between correct and incorrect behaviors. The Bible is cited by many Christians as a source of morality, but this is a book that tells us that rapists should be forced to marry their victims and pay their victims' fathers 50 shekels of silver. I don't see too many modern Christians advocating for that. As an atheist, I believe that there are moral and immoral actions, but I base my morality partially on the intersubjective social contract that is implicitly enforced by other people's behaviors and attitudes, as well as the laws of the land and also my own personal views of right and wrong. Some would object to this view of morality because the moral code it creates is somewhat unique to the user, and no moral code by this view would be objective. I do not believe that an objective moral standard exists. However, there are plenty of atheists who do or did believe in objective morality, such as Ayn Rand, Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, and plenty of others. And you can freely investigate their views on morality as well as mine. Number 1. The Amazing Atheist isn't sexy.
This one is the most ridiculous of all because obviously you can tell I am the sexiest man in all of existence. And on that note, if you enjoy my videos, you probably enjoy my book, The Douchebag Bible. Personalized copies are available down below in the description section. Also, links to all my social media and stuff like that. Be sure to check all that stuff out. A lot of good stuff in my description section. A lot of relevant links if you're an Amazing Atheist fan or follower.